here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show by people. Billies our hopes up to needless reason. Left out is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will feel happen like I got blue skies. I love it when people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Billies our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will feel happen like I got blue skies. I love it when people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB.
Good morning, Belize and Belizeans. Welcome to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes Talk Show here at 3304 Amandala Drive, formerly Partridge Street, in sweet Southside, Belize City. It's time for the Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes Talk Show. I'm sitting in for Brother Nur Mohammed this morning. I'm Sister YaYa Marin Coleman. And today is Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. And give thanks for the one who wake up. Give thanks for the one who will never wake up and go home. Safe journey as in travel home. It's Thursday in beautiful, bountiful Belize. For people where they join us for the first time or the loyal people into WUB product, we're here at XTV on your local channel, Creme Radio on your local channel. And if you're live streaming, you may go to YouTube, XTV Belize, Facebook, XTV Belize. You may download our apps, XTV Belize app and Creme Radio app in Belize. And so we'll be here from 6:30 to 9 o'clock. We'll have breaks in between. And getting us off in the mornings, we usually have the weather report from the National Meteorological Service of Belize. And this morning, the forecaster is Francisca Wellington. Thanks, sis, for giving me my lineup. And I did it so long, I don't remember why for this. So I always have to get guidance through the process. But no worry about nothing. Teamwork makes the dream work. Run the weather forecast, brother.
Good morning. Relatively moist and unstable conditions prevail and will support cloudy spells today and tonight. A few showers and isolated thunderstorms will develop over inland areas this afternoon and over southern and coastal areas tonight. This trend will continue Friday and Friday night. Winds today along the coast and over the open seas will be light and variable, and seas will be slight. High tides will occur at 10:21 this morning and 10:06 tonight. Low tides follow at 4:25 this evening and 4:59 tomorrow morning. Temperatures this afternoon will peak at 81 Fahrenheit up in the Maya Mountains, 90 along the coast, and 94 inland. The sun will set at 5:39 this evening, followed by the moon at 6:13. In the sargassum forecast, no significant increase in sargassum is expected over the area during the next few days. In the tropical weather update, at 3 o'clock this morning, Tropical Storm Leslie was about 515 miles southwest of the southernmost of the Cabo Verde Islands. Leslie was moving to the west at 6 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. At the same time, Hurricane Kirk was about 1,185 miles east-northeast of the Lesser Antilles. Kirk was moving to the northwest at 10 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. And that's the latest from the Belize Weather Bureau. Do have a pleasant day.
The first private radio station in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news. The first private radio station in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
The Belize National Teachers Union has complained that from what they know of so far, over 130 teachers have still not received their salaries for September. The BNTU further adds that some teachers have actually not been paid for 4 to 5 months and laments that this is the case even though the union has been liaisoning with the Ministry of Education since July and August so that the teachers' salaries, increments, and allowances would be deposited on time. BNTU President Nadia Kalis shared, "It seems as if someone just manually removed the teachers' names out of the system. These are teachers who have been teaching for years."
On July 22nd, this is the agreement that we had with the Ministry of Education, that any teacher that needed to be removed off the system, the managing authority had to write the Chief Gongara, and then she would address that. Up to the last time we checked, and this was like a week before PD, nobody got any notification that they will be removed or anything like that. And so when we learned on Thursday that a number of our teachers were not paid, we were like taken aback. But why is this so? Did the management submit what they needed to and all of that? But you see, as a responsible organization, we needed to do our own research, and that's very important. And you know what it's like in the public service. We are partners. The BNTU, the PSU won't hide that. When we need information from the public service, we have to go to the people that we know will have access and could provide us with information. And our investigation up to this point has revealed that our 130 plus, because the numbers are still growing, you can't find them any at all in the system. So in order for those teachers to come off the system, somebody had to manually go in and remove them. So who gave the order? That is our question. When we had an agreement, who disobeyed the agreement that we made with Minister Fonseca? Because he was in the meeting with us. A teacher this morning received a notification that her utilities will be disconnected. And that spiraled from there. She had a breakdown. Bear in mind, this is not the first teacher that had a breakdown. A couple of them had a breakdown in June, in May, over the summer, because they had qualified for a license, applied for a license, did not receive a hard copy of the license in time, had to leave the classroom because they did not have a hard copy, lost salary. See, the people sitting in Belmopan and his offices, I have to talk to you before I respond to that question. If Janelle doesn't get paid, Janelle lose her home. And that is not something that is sitting well with us at all. She has a very nice loan officer right now who did not put her home out there, but it's about to hit foreclosure. And then I'm thinking of the teacher that collapsed this morning. They see a system, next month, for them it's simple because they have a salary. They don't understand what it's like not to have money.
The BNTU's press conference were two teachers who explained how they are surviving through this very trying ordeal.
I haven't been paid since May. Way before all of this happened, before my license got expired, I was sending in emails to verify how many CPD hours I had. I was waiting. When I finally got, they told me that I only had 32 hours. Now you tell me I've been teaching for years, always doing workshops. How will I only have 32 hours? So I went into the system, found all my documents, like how my colleague said. I went and I dig out on some boxes. I found my certificates. I sent it in, and that's how I ended up getting my hours. I had to be behind them until I finally got my license all the way in July. So until July I got my license. So since I got my license, I thought I'm going to get my salary back. When I went back into classroom, I still haven't received any salary. So all these months I'm still waiting, no salary. I've been getting money from all over, and my spouse savings. Imagine you're saving for your future and you have to be touching your money from your future right now. I went back to class in September, and I had to find money to prepare my class. They don't give you anything. They just give you markers, Bristol board. What happened to preparing your whole classroom? Because if you don't have your classroom ready, and then the parents go in, they don't want to see no classroom that's empty or students go in their classroom empty, and they don't even know what you're facing. So you have to put a whole character there and go into your classroom like nothing is happening when behind doors you're suffering.
It has caused just major distress and trauma and inconveniences on my part. You have to function as a teacher, but then, as a person too, how are you supposed to be functioning as a person to do your job if all of these things are hindering you? So it has been a really, really major setback and inconvenience for me over these past few months, and I'm glad I'm still here, but I think the ministry has to do better. There's something happening there. I did not receive my salary for this month. I received in August, so I was surprised that I did not receive September. So when I had called my management, they told me that my name is not even in the Smart Stream system. I have been teaching over 20 plus years, and to find out that my name is not even in the system, in the Smart Stream system. Because last month when I received my salary, I received my pay slip, so I was there. Now all of a sudden, I'm not there. I had explained to Ms. Neda, it's like a drama. I was just trying to recover from months of not working and not receiving a salary to trying to get back on track, and then now to find out, last week when I checked my account, but there's nothing in there, and I was just thinking, okay, maybe it's late, maybe it's just late, and then just to find out that I'm not even in the system. So I am reliving that trauma all over again, and I don't think no teacher or nobody who works, needs to go through this. It's totally unfair.
The BNTU also explains that now that they are trying to reach top ministry officials to get the matter addressed, they're out of the country on duty leave. They note, though, that they reached out to the Deputy Prime Minister, who immediately stepped in to ensure the matter is resolved and teachers are paid by Friday of this week. We asked Minister Francis Fonseca for an interview, and he told us he's out of the country, but that they are well aware of the issue and it is being addressed. Martin Callis said they consider this an attack on the BNTU, as teachers' dues to the union are not being sent, and likewise, teachers' loan payments are not being automatically remitted. She added that if the issue is not resolved for this month, they will not take it lightly. At yesterday's impromptu press conference of the Belize National Teachers Union, BNTU, National President Nadia Martin Kalis spoke first about the positives and shared that they have reached agreement on 2 matters with the Ministry of Education.
I do have to thank Minister Fonseca and Minister Hyde for a series of the successes the BNTU has experienced over the past couple months. One of them is CPDs and licensing. Before this, a teacher would apply for a license and they would wait in vain. And because our teachers were waiting in vain for a license, a lot of them would have to leave the classroom. Even though they qualified for that renewal, that license would not be furnished, and the management wanted a hard copy of that license. So these teachers here, they will share their stories that pertains to licensing. But when we met with Minister Fonseca in July, he put in place a system 1 month. So the minute you apply at the District Education Center, 1 month from that date, you can visit that DC and your license should be there. And so for us, that is a win-win. Another issue had to do with the CPDs, 120 CPD hours. Every teacher with a full license must engage in that, must fulfill that, in order for them to get a new license. If you don't complete your 120 CPD hours by the expiration of your license, you had to leave the classroom and no salaries. The goal that we hope to achieve, we did, because when we met again with Minister Fonseca, we pointed out to him that no teacher should go through this. No short-term course, no CPD should supersede a pedagogical degree. We spend thousands of dollars at the universities getting our bachelor's and master's and associate's degree in education, and these are pedagogical degrees. And so how can a course for $50 supersedes that? That did not sit well at the BNTU, and he identified with us that, you know, we need to look at it. So he asked us to come with a recommendation, which we did. And in principle, he has agreed that the teachers will undergo their usual supervision in the school. The weaknesses will be highlighted, strengths and weaknesses will be highlighted by the supervisor, and they will then recommend the courses that teachers need to take. If teachers don't engage in these courses, again, this is a recommendation that they have agreed to in principle. We still need to work out the little details. If they don't engage in these courses, then they don't get an increment. The BNTU prefers that as opposed to not getting your full salary and being kicked out of the classroom. So for us, that's another win-win that we're proud of.
Former Belmopan Mayor Sharon Palacio had promised to answer to the allegations of questionable actions in relation to the innovable, I say I know I mess up the word, I still mess up the word, to the innovable land project that was executed under her only term, which concluded in March this year. The allegations first came to light on September 20. The mayor finally issued a statement to the media yesterday saying, personally, she never, quote, gained a single copper from any land allocated to any of the current owners, end quote. She added that councillors also benefited from the land distribution despite a, quote, not so cozy relationship deliberately caused by persons with vested interest to minimize and diminish my position as the first woman mayor of Belmopan who happens to be black, end quote. That is as far as the former mayor goes to address the allegations of the current council. Those include that while the lots were being sold for just under 20,000 Belize dollars, 2 councillors via a caucus vote were approved discounts of almost 18,000 Belize dollars, and one in particular who was close to the then mayor received up to 8 lots. About 98 other people, including some council employees, also received discounts, but there is no evidence that the council caucus approved their reduction. Current Mayor Pablo Kawich says those people then made false representation at the Lands Department to get their titles, having just paid 2,000 Belize dollars for the lots. Palacio says Mayor Kawich is merely trying to diminish her legacy, which was to empower the disenfranchised and ensure that ordinary Belizeans from all ethnicities received a piece of land. In the case of the council employees, she says some hard worked at the council, she says some had worked at the council since 2000 and never owned a lot. Palacio, who is also said to have received land at Innovable, has declined an interview, saying she will speak at the appointed time. The 7th public hearing of the Senate Special Select Committee on the Portico Definitive Agreement for Port of Magical Belize was to be held in Belmopan yesterday. However, the National Assembly of Belize announced in the afternoon that it has been postponed until October 16. No reason was provided for this postponement, but it has since been months since the last public hearing, and we know the proceedings have been fraught with many difficulties and setbacks, including some non-appearances. It is the hope that the next hearing can proceed as scheduled. And that brings us to the end of this morning's news brief. I'm going to look for my piece of paper and make say all the right updates to Creme Radio and Creme TV. So on Creme Radio, the morning stew will start at 9 o'clock and then discuss news, other relevant things that are happening in the community. And then at 10 o'clock on Creme Radio, there's a news brief. At 12:30, there's a full news package on Creme Radio. At 3 o'clock, there's a news brief. And at 5:15, there's a full news package. On XTV, there's a full news package at 6 o'clock. Again, you could go to XTV Belize Facebook page, XTV Belize YouTube, and you could download the XTV Belize app or the Creme Radio app. So anywhere on the world, we can lock into what happened behind the zinc fence. We'll go ahead and take one short break, and then we'll come back, open up the phone lines, and get ready for calling and just share all the good things that are happening to this morning. Break time.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic
again, and welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, also known as WUB. And it's time for us to have conversations. Oh, no, please don't let me try to talk by myself. The number is 280-5848. 280-5848. It's 7 o'clock on Thursday, October 3rd, 2024, week 40 of the Gregorian calendar 2024. So in about 12 more weeks, this calendar year will finish. And I want to call in and tell me this morning, first off, I want to know, we're putting in a good vibration. We have to be intentional sometimes for create one feel good feeling, you know, because life always full of a lot of challenges anyways, and we have every right to analyze ourselves, look for a relationship with human beings and other living beings and see how we could be better people. And then we could hold others accountable, like the people in our family, maybe if we're working, people that we work with, government, for sure, area representatives. We have a responsibility to learn. The more we learn, the better position we'll be in, hopefully, to make informed decisions, think critically, be fair, not judge others, all that good stuff. So for this Thursday morning, I don't want to call me and tell me, we'll put the Nina on good space. The number is 280-5848. From looking at listening to the news, I just read the news. There are a number of things that we should be concerned about. Let's look specifically at what's happening with our teachers. Now, you know, they have one saying sometimes, they say, well, actually when I first heard the saying, it was as relates to people who are pastors. They say some were called and some just come. And I say the same thing about teachers. Teaching ought to be a calling as opposed to a career or a profession, because teachers have one big responsibility I never turn off my phone, a big responsibility in shaping and molding and impacting Belizean students, and that's from preschool all the way to tertiary education. And so the concern that the Belize National Teachers Union shared of teachers not being paid for months is unacceptable. It's really heartbreaking when we, over a period of time, look back at how, let's say, if you could remember back to 1981, September 21st, to now, 40-something years. And we look at our infrastructure of how we manage people's resources, how we sustain them, maintain them, upgrade them, neglect them, no service them. And that have one lasting impact on people's lives. So the Ministry of Education, and I support the BNTU, for not take on foot off at their neck, hold the Ministry of Education consistently accountable. How the Minister of Education want to say, he not in the country, so like he can't give no comment about it, but then they pantapite. If when they pantapite, then they would not be in the position that they're in now of teachers not being paid for months. And I really felt, I appreciated that BNTU, and I would think it was a strategic move, to have two teachers share their realities of how not being paid has impacted their lives. One of them, there's a possibility that she could lose her home. Now, as it is, we know oftentimes teachers are underpaid and overworked. When you look at what all one teacher have to do to Belize, it's unfair. It really is unfair when you look at what teachers are paid, the sacrifices they keep making. And then we concern ourselves about students not having these life skills that they need as they get socially promoted sometimes from one class to another. And everybody have a responsibility. So right now with the focus, I'm in solidarity with the Belize National Teachers Union to hold the Ministry of Education accountable for not paying teachers on time. And the point that was made is that they feel that it's a personal attack on BNTU because I don't know if the system wanted to talk about the SITCO, which I think that this financial system for the government of Belize, but if I'm wrong, anybody could call and correct me. I don't know if the offer the SITCO that then take the teacher's name, and so BNTU is saying that for teachers not to have received their monies, their salaries on time, is because somebody went into the system and took their names out, and that because a number of the teachers have been teaching for a period of time. And I'm thinking, why would somebody do that? I don't know if they did it, that the way BNTU put out there, so that the way I decide, but definitely we need to encourage the BNTU, encourage teachers when we meet them to talk to them and learn more about what's happening, and to not ease up on the Ministry of Education. Like, we need to know definitively what happened and when, why this happened, because it's unacceptable for teachers not to be paid. I mean, who want, and I say, pay them teachers on a beer long. Months, you don't get paid? Months. And I don't know how to live. I don't get paid for months. If you know, I don't know. Whoever the support, give thanks that you don't have that kind of support. But once people work, they ought to be paid at the time that it was agreed upon to pay them when you employ them. I don't know if this could be a legal matter for an employer not holding up their end of the agreement when they hire teachers for Teach the Belize. The number is 280-5848. Oh no, Carleen, it's 707. At the first break will be at, not the first break, the second break will be at 7:30. So there's always something to talk about. But because I just came off from reading the news, I wanted to look at that with the Belize National Teachers Union holding the Ministry of Education accountable for the number I believe I read was over 160 educators, and there could be more, but those are the numbers that were given in the impromptu press conference yesterday, who have not been paid for months. Secondly, looking at the land concern out of the Belmopan City Council. There has been, and when I say systemic, it means that for an extended period of time, there has been news stories about lands being sold in Belize at prices that everyday people would not be able to purchase land for. And like a former prime minister said, because in the news story that I read, it spoke about some of the former employees of the Belmopan City Council fraudulently getting titles from the lands department. One of the things I believe that a number of Belizeans would agree on is that corruption has become a way of life. And we have accepted it and we have allowed it, and that's why it continues. Those that, and we the people have to hold ourselves accountable. The ones that will vote and the ones that will not vote by default, just about every election cycle, we keep voting people in where, based on news reports, are not honest people. I don't know what other options there are. I would open to hear Belizeans saying how they feel about living in this country for so many years and the level of corruption that continues, increases, and for the most part there's no accountability. The Senate Select Special Committee for meet, then I meet. And I don't know, I don't want to know if I want to read on it. I just say, looking at this past year, even though the year not done yet, the number of stories about questionable actions, decisions, agreements made by ministers, CEOs, people in power and influence in the government of Belize. If we don't feel like the government structure just broke down, like right in front of we while we are the government system just broke down piece by piece, the infrastructure, and then we act like everything okay, like the government just operate like the government no, things dread, and when people will have the responsibility not to do their job like they should, it impact the lives of Belizeans. Now, how much people in Norway unemployed right now, where they and their families, they suffer and has been suffering for a period of time. A number of people really are not well mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, are not well. Oh, thank you, whoever to call me. Good morning. Thank you for calling WUB. Talk to me.
Good morning, YaYa.
Morning, brother. How the morning?
Oh, no bad. The call is for PG.
From Penny?
No, from Penny.
Sweet Penny. Tell me what happened down south.
Yes, I want to talk about this disturbing occurrence in our town council, miss. Apparently, this town council has thrown away or has threatened tear up the town council act. Come on, man, you just can't, like crazy, man.
Let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any political alliances?
If I have any political alliance?
Yes, yes. I just want to make sure that this is an objective conversation we have. That you
I do, miss. But
okay.
I have political alliances, but I am here as a concerned citizen.
Okay, good. So we have an objective conversation. We're not bringing the party politics.
Of course, I'm somebody who has learned what it means to be in leadership position, miss.
Make I ask you, the city council have one policy when it's supposed to follow? You know if there's any written guidelines to say, this is how the city council for work, or the town council for work?
Miss, as I tell you, the town council act, miss, outline all of that. So there should be no reason why we will have something like this happen that is just a matter of fact. But like where a lot of people they say no. We get where we vote for, we get who we vote for. So a lot of we they say good. But it's not good, miss.
Okay, but somebody wanna know where to talk about. You could give me a lead overview of what that is concern for the town council in a Punta Gorda town Penny Toledo district.
Say that again, I don't hear you.
For somebody who want to listen and don't know where to talk about, can you give us one quick overview of what the concerns are from the Punta Gorda Penny Town Council in the Toledo district? What are the concerns?
The concern, miss, right now is that how come the town council that has pledged and promised to do the work of the town council, which is to pay the workers good, to clean the street, to ensure that the councillors appear at events under their portfolio. We just had one meeting with the police, no town councillor was there.
Who had a meeting?
A community meeting, miss. A community meeting.
Were they invited?
Huh?
Were the town councillors invited to the community meeting?
Man, miss.
I don't want to assume nothing. And did they accept the invitation?
The town council, miss, are the owners of this town, miss. That's why they get the mandate.
Okay, but why did I ask you, brother?
To administer the affairs of the council.
But why did I ask you, brother? Did the town council accept the invitation to the community meeting?
I believe so, miss.
No, we need to know. Say we need to know, because if the one thing for get invited, the one other thing for accept the invitation. So if they never accept the invitation, then I can't hold them accountable for never show up. I can hold them accountable for find out why they never accept the invitation. So that's why I try to get a good understanding of what happened.
Yeah, just tell you, the mayor was there.
Oh, the mayor was there.
So I believe that the councillor in charge for policing should have been there as well. But if the mayor is that councillor, then I accept it. But the mayor was there, miss.
Okay.
But let me come back. Let me come back because the town council has its role, has its responsibility cut out here, based on the town council act, right? The town council is supposed to sit down at a meeting. Right now, you know what this town council is. You know where the leadership of this town council is saying that he only needs 4 members to make a quorum. Come on, man, but the people never give only 4 members the mandate to administrate the affairs of this town. So
one second, brother. One second, brother. No, I agree with you that when people go out and vote, they vote for all the councillors. At the same time, that's why when we start the conversation, I ask you if there's a policy. So you say there's a town council act. If the town council act say you need at least 4 to have one meeting, then that's what the act says. So they're not violate anything because that's what the act says. So we have to, and otherwise, one time we have conversations now, we need to try and be objective and look at what the policy say. And, it still could be up to interpretation. And then based on the policy, we could say, okay, I question you because the policy said this, and this is what I experience with you. So I want to be very, as much as we can now, be very intentional in holding people accountable based on policies or laws or how we understand them. So how much town councillors they have that penny?
They have 6 town councillors and a mayor. But yeah. The people of PG, the people of the constituents of PG that have elected, that have seen, that have given these people a mandate, were happy with this individual who was our town councillor. Because this man, we can see transparency and accountability.
Let me ask, this that the town council will have one mixed political makeup?
No, man, this are straight blue, miss.
This are straight blue?
Yes.
All right.
But then we happy with what we may have as the administrator.
Okay, so there's an issue with the administrator. That's why they ask you, like, what that the concern what you have specifically?
The concern I have, miss, is the way the administrator was terminated. Come on.
Okay, did anybody give any reason why the administrator was terminated? Brother gone. Anyways, the number at 2805848. I never in a country for a while. I just come back Tuesday. And I think vaguely, I remember not the brother talk about it, that there was a concern about the administrator for the Punta Gorda Town Council being terminated. I don't remember why the person was terminated or if they may give one reason why the person was terminated. But if anybody know more about this story, please call and make we know. So we have one concern out that's in the Toledo district, way down south, Manny right at Fanny. I have one sister named Fanny, and she have one good sister down there named Jacko. Jacko and your family, Manny, Wilma here and the people down south, big respect. PGTV with sister station. So we got one issue down there. In the story this morning, in the news package this morning, we shared that concern about the land matter from out of the Belmopan City Council under the former mayor and her employees about lands being sold at discounted prices. One of the things that I want until I read the story, thanks Alexei. The former mayor, who is a woman, made the note that as a black woman, she felt that the current administration was dishonoring her legacy. And it kind of rubbed me the wrong way because this is a YaYa position. As an African descendant, visualized as a black woman, I don't want to support one person in a private or public life solely because of my blood relations as African descendants. Especially when you're in a public life, you're held at a different level of accountability when it comes to honesty, transparency, accountability, how we treat other people. It matters. So when I hear, and it is true, she's an African descendant, racialized as a black person, and that is her truth, but the way, at least how I read it in the story, it's as if she felt that she was being maybe targeted because she's a black woman. And I don't know if she would have been held accountable if she wasn't a black woman. I don't know. But that was just something that like made me flinch when I read it. Like, I'm like, what did I try to say? I don't know. I have red flags reading the story. There are lots of questions that I have that were not answered. I just feel strongly that we, the Belizean people, really have to look upon ourselves in the mirror and be honest with ourselves, because the people get the government that we deserve. And it has been said that only people who are mentally ill will keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. I know all are up on the spectrum when it comes to mental illness. We're at different levels of the spectrum. Like, you know, they have one line and they have, again, the cow. Good. Morning, thanks, Carl. Talk to me.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, brother.
I don't got much credit, so I'll make this quick.
Go ahead.
Why these teachers, they tolerate these abuse? Them teachers don't work for their money. You don't tell me you work and you don't get paid for 5 months, or no stand by and not do nothing. You got the whole union, or no not get, I said enough is enough. This have to stop, or no go power strike. And get this government attention. This government, they run with a lot of obstruction. We don't have to stand up for each other. In the last administration, I love for to get up and stand up. We don't have to stand up for each other. Over 100 odd teachers, they don't get paid. They don't get the increments, all kind of things they happen. We don't have to start to get up. Stand up for the rights in this country, and all unions and all workers in this country, because the cost of living rough. How you live and not get paid for 5 months? Tell me how that teacher they live. I don't know how they live. I try to make work every day. It's difficult for me. So I don't understand if she doesn't get paid for 5 months, how they make it. You know, everybody got bills to pay. This government, the boss, how the country they go, the economy they go, pay the teachers there. You know, take $6.9 million and pay for a piece of land. One, they never have to pay for because they go no land free. You know, find out 6.9 easy to pay the Chinaman. Pay the teachers there. Then the teachers are the backbone of the society. You know, and people you don't have to get up, man. You know, can't get them brother, they out there to talk a lot of simplest one of the technique. Get up, stand up. You take care, sister YaYa.
Thanks for the call, brother, and I agree with you. I know the valid questions the brother asked. Why did the BNTU accept teachers not getting their increment, salaries, anything else that they never get for 5 months? I know they said they were in communication with the Ministry of Education and agreements were made, but my goodness, YaYa, I wouldn't be able to do it. And again, the second caller make good points. The cost of living, meaning everything gone up. Everything that shop gone up. When you go to a store, go buy hardware stuff gone up. Things for groceries, for wash with, slippers, shoes, everything gone up. But for most of our salaries or our wages, how people want to live, I don't know. And indeed, we again, the people, accept it, and that's why government after government keep take we make kono mono, because we allow them to take we make kono mono. 2025 is scheduled to be an election year. Belizean people, what want to do different? What want to do different? I don't know what will be the options as far as people who want to offer themselves for political office. I know we're between a rock and a hard place because the infighting with the opposition not appear to put them in a good standing. I don't know, I just say, appear a way to make us and the fuss up amongst themselves. And it's not that this administration, the quality of work for say the majority of Belizean people's lives get better. Most Belizean people, most of them what I know, they suffer. One number of them, even within a kind of middle class people, they live paycheck to paycheck. I don't know how the teachers, and the teachers would be considered middle class people. 5 months, how that impact people's lives? And so, Belize National Teachers Union, I really want somebody from the BNTU calling. We have to go to a break in about 4 minutes. The number is 280-5848. And share with me because maybe we don't know enough. For say, we want to wait 5 months. And I know BNTU have one process within caucus with them teachers before they make decisions. And so I wonder if we don't caucus with teachers, if we don't had community conversations with teachers throughout the country, or that just the teachers who were impacted, how to tolerate that for 5 months? I could say, okay, when I never get a paycheck for 15th, that May, June, July, August, September, I think that for May they don't get paid. Maybe April are the last time they get payment. So when May 15th come, on the money never come, all right, but by the end of May, that money never come, only show me do something, school never closed yet. And again, I know there's a number of things I don't know about this story where I would have need for learn. And so I just said that. Anybody would know more and could help me better understand why the teachers then take so long for at least come to the media and say that teachers not get paid for 5 months. And then for go back to Belizeans and say, well, we want the difference for have one better quality of life. And we can do better, we can. And so from reading, researching, talking to people, watching documentaries, listening to other people's stories, whenever, one personal story, one number of we could look back on life and say, man, I'm in a really terrible situation. And there was a time when I couldn't see my way out. And then one day, I just had enough. It's sad to say sometimes we get enough that we would usually have to hit the rock bottom sometime. And when we get enough, we make decisions, we change your lives. Oftentimes they're good, sometimes they're not good. And so I just said to Belizean people, when we aren't getting enough of this system of government what we have, when we aren't getting enough. And so I really see the need, and I believe on number we get enough, but then other than getting enough, it's like, okay, what we could do. Some people really feel strongly that we can't do nothing for change the reality. And I just said to we, yes, we can. But that because we don't know what we could do, how to do it, we don't know stories of other people who have faced such challenging times and choose to do something different. Yes, you want to come out and sacrifice. Yes, you want to come out and risk. But what we want to do? Continue to suffer till we're dead. That's the quality of life we want to have as Belizeans. And then something we're unique that Belize. We could say, for example, the people that say former colonies, but I just say that's still colonies, because from the fact that you have one European monarch as your head of state, the European monarch Charles is the head of the country of Belize. The Prime Minister is the head of state. I'm sorry, the head of government. The European monarch king, for their kingdom, my king, the European monarch Charles is the head of state. The Prime Minister is the head of government. So I want Belizean people, that's why the European monarchs still live on the money. And that would be honest with yourself and say, we're not politically independent. We're not. Because if you're politically independent, you make decisions with genuinely in the best interest of your people. And that has never happened in Belize for the most part. So I just want to be honest with our part with it as a country, as a people, because before we could act to say how we could change it, we have to do a thorough analysis. Anyways, that 7:30, we have to take a second break. When we come back, keep the phone lines open. When we continue calling, and we can talk about anything we want to talk about. We're going to take a break right now. Oh, sorry. 2 cents come. I will get it one day. We're going to 2 cents come, and 2 cents come is being sponsored by Fort Point Security. Apologies. Thanks, Alexi. 2 cents come time.
What you think about it, man? I think they need they need to wait for traffic most of the time.
Not really, I don't think so.
All right, that's your 2 cents.
Yes, thank you so much.
They not, they always speed and they not traffic way.
Yeah.
That's your 2 cents.
Yeah,
Right.
But I don't really see where the going there and to be real, so I really can't make a comment on that.
Yeah.
Because if out in the south, I think Texas, I don't really know where they're going.
Right.
So somebody will have to educate me about that.
Okay, you know the boat?
No, I don't really the about. If I'm the about, then I give you all the...
That's your 2 cents.
Yeah. Yes,
You think they don't want a problem to the traffic? You run manual do delivery?
No. They're good.
All right.
Here on XTV, simulcasting on Creme Radio, live streaming on XTV Belize YouTube and XTV Belize Facebook page. You can download the XTV Belize app and the Creme Radio app. Local channels, XTV Belize and Creme Radio Belize. Today is Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. And the phone lines are open. The number is 280-5848. 280-5848. Hi. Morning. I only just make I happy with a call. Talk to me.
Respect. I just a call and concern about the new school. The already is first. So a lot of poor people at bar right now. I don't know since the principal changed this new principal thing on a lot of additional costs and send out. So you know the poor people so that they have a real balance, I don't understand. And instead of school fee, I'm 5 kids, you know, I don't know what happened.
This is the primary school or high school?
It's
The what? Oh, the STEM school.
Yeah, I need the media for go question not for the poor people at bar.
Okay, you have one child or more than one child to go to ITSA?
I know how the lady said you got more than one child, more than 2 children.
Okay, you have 2 children. You know.
No, I got 3 children.
You have 3 children. And okay, tell me again what are the concern. What you just said is the school send one email.
That they raise the school fee without telling people from the beginning.
Gotcha. You know what the school fees before and how much they charge now?
Like 5 something the lady said.
5 something per child?
Per child.
Per year.
So,
and you know how much they pay before?
No, that was what was the beginning cost. But now we set out a email about $2,000.
Wait, hold up, brother. Wait, make sure I make sure I hear you right. You just said to the best of your knowledge, one parent said to you, a child got a ITSA, which is the science, technology, engineering, and math high school, the old Belize Technical College ground.
Behind it.
Now, back in the 80s, the powders go for festival, grand market, but anyways, you said when they start out at the school, to the best of your knowledge, per year, per student. I know you just said that, then they said that $2,000 Belize per year per student, and they never tell them in advance?
Yes, they need to send the media today.
Sure. But I hope that I hope I will allow them, brother, that there is something what I don't know about this story. Well, if I notice something, I will have one better understanding. But I appreciate your calling.
After the media, they go question the parents and get the thing.
You know,
almost alone poor people for Southside go to that school.
You know the person number? You know the person. You could contact the person.
No, people. I ain't got phone like that.
Okay. Well, all right. I want to tell the media house and see if we could get one journalist over there. I want to call as a community worker.
That for the parents. Thanks very much.
Thanks for the call, brother. Good looking out. Sure. Wait, I can ask you something before I go.
Yeah.
What you do to keep yourself in a positive vibration every day?
Well, you know, I just try to say the Almighty, give thanks and praise no matter how little it come, it come, but it not stop.
I hear you, brother. One love. Enjoy your day. Guidance. Thanks for the call. I'm sure other Belizean people, well, I can't say sure, I hope that other Belizean people have the experiences where I have with Belizean people. And so, I'm going to say I'll try to get to know for calling, right? So, the number is 280-5848. So, I want to call in and share some of the positive experiences we're going to have with Belizean people. I know me personally, I've had some rough times with Belizean people, but Belizean people overall, majority of my engagements with Belizean people and a majority of the other people I know personally has been very uplifting, beautiful, genuine, rich. And I decided, we'll make a stick and pin pan that and go back to the Ministry of Education. If somebody could call in the number at 280-5848 to shed some light or additional knowledge on what's happening over at the STEM school as it relates to increase in tuition for the 2024-2025 academic year. You get a call just now. So what the person said, I don't know if it's true that when the school year started, I guess 2023-2024, or I don't know if it was 2024, that it had about $500+ Belize per child. And now the parents get one email where say gone up to like $2,000 Belize dollars per child, and they never have no prior warning. I don't know if that's true. I heard it's about Crawford. If that's not so, then nearly so. So if somebody could share some more information, we greatly appreciate it. So people could be in a better position to know how they can respond in the best interest of their children and their family. And we can go back to Belizean people. The number is 280-5848. Two things I want to share. In July, United Black Association for Development Educational Foundation, the community-based organization with a focus on the liberation of African people, racialized as black people in Belize and the diaspora. I'm the spokesperson, chairperson for that organization. And so in July, we had 2 delegations in country. And so, you know what, for one of them delegation, I gone to Alton Ha for share with them the YaYa story, the Alton Ha. When I get that, this is the second time I think I gone to Alton Ha, maybe in the past 5 years. And the 2 times I gone, I don't even, like I get out of the vehicle, so if I get out of the vehicle, somebody could see me because I get out of the vehicle. But the 2 times I gone to Alton Ha, and these are identifiable African descendants racialized as black people. As I get out of the car, I could hear somebody recognize me because I hear my name. They don't necessarily they call me, but I hear them say my name because I guess they see when I come out of the vehicle. And 100% so love. I mean, genuine, just good black people, vendors, they got jokes, they're friendly. And from July, I said, I walk out, I didn't know the sister then, because I don't necessarily know people's name, but they're just good people. And the 2 times I gone to Alton Ha, and I talk about brothers and sisters. Vendors, then they sell arts and craft, then they sell coconut water, then they sell avocado, then they sell mango, then they sell smoothie, then they sell jewelry. So love. What, and I mean, anybody who knows me knows I like African jewelry. So I see one sister who had, you know what, I had to run off my mouth, I can make sure the time, I think that 4 more minutes to break. Then I tell me if I don't call it break. Anyways, so I saw one sister with a really pretty earring with Makota. It looked like local wood from Belize, and I really liked the earring, and she just said thanks, you know, and then I really liked the earring, and then another sister just come up to me and gifted me these earrings. They're made from mahogany. I mean, she's a vendor. I don't know what the sister name, but if you don't want really good mahogany earrings, you need to go to Alton Ha, go get them from, I don't know, empty and walk in at the when you get the Alton Ha, they have the parking lot, and they have on the right hand side where all the vendors, they have their wares outside, the pan side, I don't know what the sister name, but it sells mahogany earrings. So if you go buy the earring, tell us say, yeah, send your folk and ask for the earring. But that's one example of how good everyday people are, the work for themselves, the struggle every day, and still have one really good vibrations. And I know they always want somebody we got one sharp mouth, where just, man, it just make you feel good. And so I really want to make sure I come and just tell our sister, thanks for this mahogany earring. I just get back Tuesday. I went there tomorrow morning visiting for Brother Nuri, and I want to do a report back. But I don't want to do the report back by myself. I want one more score so that we could have one engagement. It could ask me questions, and for me that richer than for me just there at the top mode. I'm gone for like maybe 15 days. United Black Association for Development Educational Foundation. Because of the work where the organization though, and really that me putting the majority of the work with support from the community, mad support from the community, consistently, especially as a African reparationist, the work is being recognized in a different spaces. And so UAF was invited to go to Scotland for the International Network of Scholars and Activists for African Reparations in ASAR. UEF has been a member for a number of years. They're based in England. And then they applied for funding for look at reparations through an African lens, from an African perspective. And the guest speaker that we had for African Emancipation Jubilee Day this past August 1st, Sister Esther Jose, is YaYa position, the leading African grassroots scholar activist in the world. And so because of the work what she did do, and I like the young people who know more than me, different from me, better than me, I am learning a lot from her. And so because of the work where she did do, and because she also looks at African people in the diaspora, on the continent of Africa, when in ASAR working with the University of Edinburgh in Scotland and the University of Boston, then they worked together for a while, they're applying for £2 million for a research grant. And so one of the things that they look at is, if we're looking at a research grant as it relates to African reparations, then we have to be intentional in getting somebody from the diaspora, somebody from continental Africa, who did the meaningful work on the ground to be part of the conversations. So for MECIT's Glocal, we had representatives from London, from the University of Boston. I came from Belize, somebody came from Ghana. And we sat down for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to look at, they send you a lot of reading material before you left so that you could be ready when you get there to say, based on what the requirement is to apply for this grant, based on the work UEF is doing in Belize, how that complement the requirement to apply for this research grant. It was really intense. I learned a lot. I learned that I have quite a bit of growing to still do, and that a part of life when it comes to human engagements. And so that made a part there. So I left on a Thursday. I think it was July 12th. I had a bus to Cancun, and then catch one flight from Cancun to Istanbul, Turkey, and then on to Scotland. That ain't pay for, make I travel everything, right? So I said, if I go in that far, I better maximize being in that space, because UF has other alliances, partners that we work with. So I get there this Saturday. The Monday, I think it was the Museum of Edinburgh. Esther did a full day presentation on African reparations. It was a paid process where I got for free. And then that was the Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when we had the workshop to flesh out how to apply for this research grant funding. And then we left on Friday and gone to England, because that weekend, the Saturday and the Sunday, the Maangamisi Educational Trust, which is the educational arm of the Maangamisi We Charge Genocide Ecocide campaign, had an intense 48 hours, hunker down, and 7, I guess, I have to go read the, I never prepare really for Sarah this, but well, the call and the number are 2805848. So the most natural thing for I do, I started to talk about the experience I had recently representing African descendants racialized as black people in Belize. I was still asking most to make a come back Wednesday, because I prefer have one conversation with him, but just giving you this broad overview, if most say yes, I could come back Wednesday, for the listeners and viewers, those streaming online, when I already have one, it's a backstory I give you now. And so when I was in Edinburgh, I met an elder who I'm going to meet when I'm in there last year, October, November. His name is John Gus. He's from Grenada, has been an activist in the United Kingdom for over 60 years. Brilliant, brave, committed life to the liberation of African people. If you go back like 3 Fridays ago, I say one story where he submitted to the Mandela newspaper. So one of the connections UEF make, when Mandela allowed it he's a columnist for one of the newspapers of Jamaica, that we have started to print some of the same articles that he would submit to a newspaper in Jamaica, here in Belize in the Mandela newspaper. So that one of the relationship where UEF strengthened with Brother John Gus. There are other new relationships that we have formed. The University of Edinburgh, there are a new connection. The University of Bristol, there are a new connection. And what I really like about INASAR is that the focus on scholars and activists. Oftentimes, research matters, but oftentimes research come from universities which are very elitist, singular narrative from a European mindset. Whereas with activists, oftentimes they're organic intellectuals based on their lived experience, their common sense. They have a wealth of knowledge, and oftentimes people like that not get invited in spaces like these, and so that's why I really appreciate when you have scholars and activists coming together. I would be if I'm not mistaken. I identify as a grassroots journalist and a community organizer. Even though I have colonial papers, which would make it different in how I organize versus somebody when I have that experience, I have a very different experience. I could navigate university environments that are not my favorite spaces to work in. I think they're not safe spaces to work in. There are parts of my life that I choose to not share with the public because there's not a need to know. But when I was in the United States, the 2 places where I worked for most of the 18 years where I'm in the United States, it would have been in newspapers and universities. That's how I get my colonial papers, because once you work at the university, you can go for free. And that's the only reason why I can afford to get colonial papers, because I never had to pay for it. Anyways, I say all that to say that their lived experiences put me in a one different position than maybe one other activist would, because I've worked at universities before in the United States. So that a major link for UEF that would broaden with connections with universities. We already had one established with the University of Bristol. So in Uganda, England, also got on to Bristol because we're looking at working with another project with the University of Bristol. And so I said to Belizean people that one of the takeaways I get from this experience this time is that as an organizer, that we really have a responsibility to say to the people who we represent, that we have a responsibility to be intentional about our learning. We have to start to study consistently so that when we have engagements with people, that from a strategic position, that from a knowledge-based position, that from a position of confidence, that from a position that we have what it takes to make the changes where we want to see, to make we have a better quality of life. The kind of examples where happened from the time African people were enslaved in Belize up to now. Because of the colonial narrative of this country, like most of the other quote-unquote Caribbean countries, one lot of we don't know the stories of people of color, you would say of indigenous ancestry, of African ancestry. We don't know it. And that's one of the reasons why one number of young people, even the ones that will have colonial papers, they don't know themselves, they're not able to think critically, to hold people in power accountable. There's a lot of work that we need to do. The earlier we start to do this, the earlier we reason together, we grow together, we study together, we hold ourselves and others accountable. That the kind of change will need to happen we have one better quality of life. Like the caller say, the past two callers, no, it was the third caller who make the point that with the cost of living, like people struggle to live. For we life ought not to be just about working to earn money, to pay bills, to purchase material things, to... Carla, thanks to Carl. Talk to me.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Terry.
Well, the caller says that cost of living is high. People are suffering. And that is true. Government says that they have reduced poverty by 50%. They had it at 52 when they came into power, and now they can prove that it is at 26%. There's an ad that says that when they took office, 1 out of 2 persons were poor. And now, like we're round after 26 to 25, it would be 4 to 10. That's a major improvement, if you believe what they're telling you.
Stick a pin. First off, I am wowed, but I really appreciate that you bring the statistics and you broke it down so we could understand it. So I'm really thankful for that. Go ahead now.
Okay. It's no secret in Belize that my DNA is 50% Belizean and 50% Venezuelan. I don't listen to any United Nations speech, none whatsoever. But I hear people referring to the speeches, to what Barbados said and what this one said and the next one said. And I started doing my little research around. And I think, if I am correct, that not one CARICOM member, not one, mentioned Venezuela plight. You always say, Ms. YaYa, what people will say it's the people. Well, Venezuelan people spoke in a democratic way, and they're being imprisoned. The now element that is there says that he won the election, but he doesn't show any ballots. He don't need, he have the military. He could send jail anybody. More than 2,000 people, plus the 1,000 plus political prisoners that have been in jail for the past 8 years. And CARICOM never mentioned once. Valid point, they're more worried about Middle East and reparations and giving away money and this and that. But CARICOM is one of the main benefactors of the money that belongs to the Venezuelan people. Because I never Chavez money. They're not Maduro money. And not one of these, but they can't speak. So you can't expect Mr. Gonzalez or his representative to talk about that because he got his loan pardoned. So he dare not speak against Maduro. So every time I hear you say people will say it's the people, I don't take that with one grain of salt. I take that like with 3 spoonfuls of salt. They're hard to swallow. Because the reality is that it is our wishful thinking, desirable, but it's not the reality. Case in point, that our government has reduced poverty by 50%. Thank you.
Wait, no, go make ask you something. You live at Belize?
Is what?
You live at Belize?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on where you live, you say if where you live match with the statistics of government that says it relates to impoverishment, that you find it to be true that what the government say, or where you live that true?
No, it is not true. I go to the market. I see people that money bad because now they put some lily tomato, it look like some koyan. in our Lee bag. And then people say how much for this, and then tell them 152, and the people let it go. Then put it down back. I've seen people walk around the market and maybe want to buy. The other day potato was at $3.50 a pound, they never buy. So, and I deal a lot with people from all walks of life. What they're saying is not true. It cannot be true. It's just like the population centers. I don't drink the Kool-Aid neither.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
Because we have been told, or we've been lied to for many years, one out of the two, that we were at least 400,000 people years ago, and the IMO, the immigration, whatever, said that we were going to regularize 15,000. You remember the 15,000 that we were going to?
Yes.
And then when the first census came up, they said that we had 340-something thousand people. The math's not correct.
The math.
Then they come back again and say, no, they make mistake that 330,000 people. So I don't drink that Kool-Aid. I owe enough Galata here, so I don't drink that Kool-Aid, as I don't drink the Kool-Aid of the poverty being reduced by 50, because that's what he said, from 52 to 26. Now, they are very creative, and sadly so, in coming up with new ways of measurement. It's just like the unemployment. Remember they said that they have unemployment like 3 or 4%. I mean, like everybody employed in this country. And the ones that are not employed are becoming more work. They know they look for jobs. So they have creative ways of changing the measuring tape. And, well, you know, they have a lot of ads and people believe in them, and I hear people say, man, poverty got down, and well, they drink that Kool-Aid, go ahead. Anyway.
One more thing before you go. I hear you good way you said about CARICOM, but I just say, brother, if we foreign minister never even gonna tell the truth and defend the Belizeans about gaff attack in the SARS too. None of that Belize with Belizean people business. You think they're going to defend or say anything in solidarity with Venezuela after they don't take the Petrocarib money? They forgive the Petrocarib loan. You may expect them going to say anything in solidarity with Venezuela? You may expect that?
That's precisely why I don't listen to media and speak. And other people think that some of these small island prime ministers are big things. They might be big things within their society and within their environment. But Trinidad never talked about it. Trinidad was one of the major benefactors of Venezuelan money. As St. Lucia, as St. Vincent and the Grenadines and others. That's why I'm telling you, they're compromised. So they will never speak out. So when they come and give speeches that far away, Pakistan, Nepal, then they could talk because they don't have no connection. And I even heard of Mr. Fonseca said something and it must be done immediately. That's what one friend told me. So he spoke very strong. And that whatever he was telling them to the United Nations, it must be done immediately. Imagine. But they could take that position with whatever, with Congo, with Gaza, with Palestine, with Israel, with whoever they could take that position. But they dare not take a position in our midst. And especially with the result of the elections, the Venezuelans had so much hopes.
Oh, I know people got different positions on the Venezuelan matter. You just to share your position. Guys, if you listen to Telesur, not to say what you to say.
No. Please, not seriously. A voting election result is a result. And when a government tells you that they don't need to show you the ballots, if somebody tells you that I said I believe, let's say Mr. Hussein, you tell you, we win, we went to the country, we don't need to show you that. When you would have said,
it's not fair, it's not just, it's not right, but I have to go to break.
Don't tell me. When you say, I've lived in Latin America long enough, Miss YaYa. I've read enough books. At 66 years old, I'm not 2030, I don't know a new generation right now. I've seen a lot. And I see my family suffer. And the only equality that so-called Bolivarian, I can't use that word right now, has done is made everybody poor. But then they're equal, you see. Because you can't take the military as not being equal because they have a justification for not being equal money-wise because they're supposed to defend the revolution.
I have to go to break.
No.
I have to go to break. But I want to call me back.
Okay.
I want to finish this conversation. Call me back after the break, yeah? Thanks. Break time. Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, WB Talk Show, back at the Zinc Fence Suite, Southside Belize City. The phone number is 280-5848, 280-5848. Feel free for calling and talk about anything you want to talk about. Just no call people name. Try be fair and objective in your talking whatever you want to talk about. Really to make what we are human beings and we have biases, we have prejudices, but the more we work with oneself, the better we could show up for be better human beings, better family members, better communities, healthier Belize. And that always work. That is one life process for choose to be one better human being. And so when I start out the conversation this morning, ask people for calling and tell me what want to do for stay in a high vibrations every day, or what the phone daily practices. For the real is that life have challenging moments and they have joyous moments too. I don't want to hear more about the joyous moments. And so I'm going to tell you about my experiences with Belizeans. So I'll give you another story now, right? So I come back Tuesday. So I catch the ADO bus from Cancun to Belize City. And when I left Cancun bus terminal, I meet one elder African-American man women need some assistance. For the most part, anywhere in the world I there. And I say identifiable African descendants. And I could link you, I want to link you. If I could help you, I want to help you. And I always remember more than one thing that's true at the same time. All my skin folk are my kinfolk. Anyways, in helping this man, we get all the way to the border. So now we cross from Chetumal into Belize. Now because I use ADO bus enough time for fly to Cancun, I say that more than one time when tourists get that the border for left Chetumal for go into Belize, that they never let in some tourists. Now I don't know why they don't let the tourists in. All I know is the tourists then get upset and they can't enter. They can't left the country. They can't left Mexico. So some European people that on the bus, they had a delegation of Belizeans at the back of the bus too. I tell them I just love Belizean people. So I don't like I talk about Spanish, but I know for block it up and get what I want. So I gone and buy something in the Cancun bus terminal. When I gone for buy something, one female me today, the female left, so then I put in my order. So I expect the person to serve me. But then one brother comes stand up next to me, and then the clerk to serve the brother. So I tell her, no, I'm there first. And then the guy say, no, I'm there before you. So I say, how I know so you there before me? Say, I go and buy water, but he talk to me in a Korean. I said, but how I'm if I know that if you never tell me? So then I realized, okay, he not Belizean. And then there with some other people. So it turned out that maybe about 4 of them, I think, they're Belizean artists. They began to do a residency somewhere, then they come back in. But anyways, they end up help this elder African American person. So for make a long story short, when would they that a Chetumal border for come into Belize, the border person, Chetumal, Mexico, they said to the African American man, one elder, that they can't enter because it stay over the 6 months we could stay in a Chetumal, Mexico. That means 6 months and 1 day. Anyways, the point is, I never get this brother name, a Belizean brother. Skinny talk about Tiger Maga about the Kakatari. And then there were other Belizeans in the line where I'd say, if I just look upon it, I'd identify them of indigenous ancestry. Some other people may say mestiza, but I'd just say indigenous ancestry. The way Belizean people, because I'm like, who talks Spanish in this line? Because I need help. Total strangers. The way how everybody just, however they come and help, they come and translate, advocate for this man. But this brother, I never ask her name. And I don't think I'm a telling thanks, so I'm just a hurry. If I say again, I know him, but I really want to tell her, brother, thanks. As I'm black woman, one of the most beautiful things that was say one courageous black man, stand 10 toes deep for principle. Now, I would just say, if anybody will observe me and know my work, then I say they could tell my, you know, they could press my button and tell what I will probably respond to. But in this case, I act out of character because it's questionable how the Chatamal border agent may behave. But because I just want left the country and make sure this African American man enter, I'm like, even though they thief the money, like, fine, just make we go. But this black guy, and I don't like him talk the best Spanish, but look at him understand more than he talk. He's not like, nah! I mean, the brother they go out one way. But the brother right, because he they say, no, you're wrong. You're not for to charge that kind of money. You're for give them one receipt because and he said, no, not left without this receipt. And then he tell the woman, say the thief. And the woman look at him and understand. So she asked back for the passport and I said, for what? She said, I want cancel. And I'm like, please don't cancel. I said, brother, it okay. He's like, no, it's not okay. Then the thief. And so then the woman said, well, I want to call my boss. And he said, call the boss then. So then the boss come in. A younger guy. He's like, just calm down and then explain everything. And I was just like, thank you. And he watched me like, we thank me for. Then I didn't know what I never for do. But I was just, this is one of the lessons when I learned when I'm incarcerated, 2008, 2009, I think. I remember ex tell me when I'm at a hunger strike, he say, YaYa, you're heading a tiger mouth. Take your head out of tiger mouth. Then when you come and believe you could hold whoever you want, hold accountable that the United States accountable. Right now you're heading a tiger mouth. So in that moment, I'm like, YaYa, you're heading a tiger mouth. You could deal with them people later about them questionable practices, about what they charge people, because I think that over 6 months, you have to pay some money when they left Chatamal. So what a border person says is that you could go to the bank and make the payment there, and you get a receipt, or you give them, in the leave booth, the money, and they don't give no receipt. But the brother said, once they take your money, they forgive you one receipt. So initially, I asked how much money you for pay. And I said, I'm 700 and something pesos. Now I asked the Belizean in the line, I'm like, 700 and something pesos, about how much US dollars? They said about 50 US dollars. So when I did the calculation afterwards, they're like 36 US dollars. Okay, I gave the woman 100 US dollars. She said she not got no change. So I said, anybody got change when we cross the border? I could give her back in Belize dollars, anybody. Now, I believe the border person, they realized, because you know, a lot of chattering happened, that more than one person, they get involved in advocating for the African American elder. So then the border person come back out and say, it got changed now. It got changed, 50 US dollars, it got changed, no problem. But the Belizean brother tell me, get your receipt. Now when I talk to the, because the Belizean delegation of artists who translate for me, lend with and charge us, so I could charge the elder phone. I mean, I just really love when Belizean people just work together. So when I got and they give an update about what all the African American men gone through, then they started to tell me what they gone through and how some of them get receipts and some of them don't get receipts. So one, I said, I really think we should put something in writing to the Mexican embassy. I tell them, when I say I try to behave myself, because generally that's how I respond, but I'm like, yeah, got your head in a tiger mouth, just do what you have to do for left the country. But one of the things that we intend to follow, it's really important for Belizeans understand the protocols, especially when you're left or enter another country. And in one country where they talk the language where you talk, so that you could, one, be internally peaceful when you go through the process of traveling, and two, that you gain more knowledge, so if you need for help somebody else, you could help them. So I've gone through all the storytelling for say how much I really, really, really appreciate and value Belizean people. But one of the things you hear people say, tourists, foreigners say, Belizean people are just nice people, kind people. Now we know we got issues with one another, but for the most part, I could truly say Belizean people that love, that genuine love. As I move around this country, people where I know I don't know they want to tell us that they listen to zinc fence. They want to complain if they don't get the media house programming because we get kicked off of YouTube, or they were making us. So the things are like always good things. But they really try and tell us what they like and don't like. And I just really want to big up Belizean people because on make my day. On really make my day. Anywhere I go in this country, most of the time, the love I get from Belizean people, and primarily because they associate me with zinc fence. And that's why I stay loyal to zinc with challenges. And no sense I no smooth walk back as zinc going 19 years, I think I'm back now. But because of zinc, I have the platform for have access to the majority of Belizean people, for listen to you, for talk with you, for laugh with you, for cry with you, for reason with you, and I really, really want to say to Belizean people, well, are some beautiful human beings, most of them that is, and I thank you. The phone number is 2805848, 2805848. It's 8:30 for this morning, Thursday, October 3rd. It's the 40th week of 2024. Wanna call me, and then I want to know, you know how when the calendar year start, one number away, set goals to 2024. I want to know how much I want to meet in the goals, how much I want to still work on the goals, how much I want to dash with the goals, and I want to check in from to say how honor to grow as human beings. We're honored to learn about ourselves. We're honored to learn about other people. One of the takeaways for me from this recent public foot journey out of the country, and I know maybe in our subconscious way I do it, but then they hold me accountable. It's break time. Come back directly. Make sure to call after we come back. If you don't want to call, break time.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to the National MS
Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, WUB, back at the zinc fence. This morning, Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. The phone number is 280-5848, 280-5848. And you could call and talk about anything you want to talk about. The caller will call before the last break. I think it was before the last break. A woman talk about Venezuela text me and tell me you can't call back. But and there tomorrow, they will call back. And the point where I make and I really work on it. I was oftentimes, I'm going to talk to somebody who used to work here at the media this morning when I come down. And I say, for a number of we, or a large number of we don't have positive models of healthy relationships. Whether they are, usually they're the people with blood family, they're the first relationships that we have with family members, with siblings, with parents, with extended family members, when they go to school, a number of because they're on church state education system, when they engage in activities where churches may have or other religious spaces like masjids, when it comes to the, when you go to work, when you have to work in groups, when you work with people you don't know, and people are culturally different from you, we don't have positive role models of how to center for ourselves, ask for ourselves what the for we value systems, how to make for we actions consistently match for we words, for we thoughts. As African descendants racialized as black people, and this happened to indigenous people and African descendants, when it comes to the enslavement of African people, the extraction of human beings from the continent of Africa, the same happened to indigenous people throughout the Abayalas, or what they call the Americas, what we call Caribbean countries, that because we have been detached from our authentic ways of being, most of what we think, know, reason, hold of value that European racialized as white values, which not natural. And so, a lot of times we don't even know anything, that we just breathe and go along. And so, for get back in touch with for we authentic selves, one of the reasons why I really appreciated this opportunity that you have had for go to Scotland and England. And yes, you go to a specific goal, then you have an opportunity for listen to how other people live in other parts of the world and the challenges that they have and how they solve some of the challenges there. So it's not as if, as big as the world is and the systems in place would primarily benefit one small percentage, usually European racialized as white men, when it comes to power, wealth, inequity, influence. The rest, the majority of the world are people of color. And so what was different for me this trip, I sure subconsciously, it must be there some way, because I'm a human being. But I know this particular trip, and it could be because I consciously work on my own growth, that there's a part of me that is more open to have one humanity vibration. I very self-preservation natural for any human being. So besides my connection to the Creator, ancestresses, ancestors, Mama Earth, and all living beings, myself, and then immediate family, extended family, then my next interest, the African descendants racialized as black people. And I'm very clear, I'm unapologetic about it, that are my interests. Now, it's natural that other people have their own interests, so maybe Asian people look after Asian people interests, indigenous people look after indigenous people interests, environmentalists look after environmental interests. So, unique that as an African descendant, I am like, my interest, the African descendant, racialized as black people interests. Because that is my world for the majority of my life. Yeah, I mean, the other interest, but whether, I'm aware of, but I don't really get heavily involved because I could learn from other, which is one of the things Sister Esther has taught us, that there are other groups of people who have experienced reparations. And so she's a reparationist with a specialization in African reparations. And so because she's learned from other reparationists and other reparations movement, it helps her to be very comprehensive in her mindset and approach, as she has learned from the people who taught her and then who she would teach we, the humanity of the experience. I really have to be very intentional for not judge, especially when it comes to Europeans, racialized as white people. Have to be very intentional to say, if one person, for example, that believes, if the only thing they know as far as organized religion or Christianity, that's all they know. And if my engagement with them, that one primarily have accountability, then people may not be receptive to hearing something different that would hopefully encourage them for question themselves in a way they never questioned themselves before. Because you could only hold people accountable to the extent where you hold yourself accountable. And I would say all of that to say that Belizean people, indeed, only the people want to save the people. Watch that 843 now. The phone number is 280-5848. 280-5848. If you don't want to call in or talk about whatever I don't want to talk about, I have another, 7 minutes before I have to go to a break. And this is one of the times when I can't never really have no set thing to talk about, because you know that the host they usually go, they have to have something to talk about, because they can't have that air until somebody call in. And the easiest thing for I talk about without having for, and this is one of the, I don't bring my bag of books like I usually bring my bag of books. I did bring 2 books though. They were exciting things. Books are my besties. And so one of the relationship that UEF has strengthened in England is with if you go up on Instagram, it's called New Beacon Books. It's the first specialized publishing house and bookstore. Their tag is, we're more than a bookstore. In Finsbury Park, London. I met either owner or co-owner when I went last year, because October is Black History Month in the UK. And one of UEF's partners, Global Legal Action Network, is a network of primarily European attorneys who choose the communities and people they work with as it relates to justice in environmental matters. So they asked me right before I left last month, in honor of Black History Month in the UK, then they asked me for being a guest speaker for the organization for this month, which that the first time I've had a European organization approach me and ask me for being one guest speaker for them. I thought about it because I'm very clear. It is not my responsibility to teach European people. Again, like I tell you now, my interest and priority are African descendants, racializers, Black people. So I really did. And people grow up their own way if they choose to. This is different for me. So I had to brainstorm how I approach it, say, and be on Zoom. Anyway, so one of the relationships that UF has strengthened is with New Beacon Books. And they had a book sale on, I think it was the 28th and 29th of September, Saturday and Sunday. So I got the Saturday, stayed about 45 minutes. I love New Beacon Books. It's more than a bookstore because it's a community base, and people come in and have book launches, they have community reasonings. And then they left on 1969, if I'm not mistaken, then I want Bonify, a mandala. And I'm really thankful for the opportunity for strengthening the relationship with them. Anyways, walking at the bookstore, and if I'm going to think tomorrow, I'm going to show some pictures. Walking at the bookstore, and there's so the community really come out. And they have a number of, it's just, I don't know, one space that I believe, where as an African descendant, specialized as a black person, when you walk in there, like you just feel the warmth of African vibration, that just everything that is affirming to you as a black person, like one safe space, black art. Then we play LPs, old songs. It's really a good vibration. So and on the first desk, I have tables out and I have books on the tables because they're surplus books, second-hand books, damaged books at very discounted prices, like £3 to £5 each, which could be like maybe $2 to $4 US. I tell people, oftentimes when I travel, I don't have no bag of money. I work with what I have. So from the first table, I just walk in at the spot. I start to look on a book, and the first book I say, caller, thanks for calling. Talk to me. This will be your last call. Tell me.
Good morning, Mom.
Morning, brother. Tell me.
I was just called to share my vision because I do my visa. And I got through all the requirements that was given to us to get this, to go through procedures and to be turned
visa for go to States?
Yes, ma'am. And you have to do all the requirements online and stuff, and then there are certain things we need to bring in to clarify why we're waiting and things like that. So you don't do all the homework for when you reach there. You get turned down, you have $370 and not really get a valid reason why you're turned down, like kind of frustrated. You change your mind, not get accepted, but I really want to give a reason why they don't accept you or things like that, and then next part they don't ask you for none of the requirements when they tell you to bring in. So it's kind of frustrated to do all these things and have to wait so long before appointment call up. So they just after 2 questions and tell you you are not granted a visa.
That the first day they apply for it?
Yes, ma'am.
Brother, I hear you, and my 2 cents is when it comes to the US, that visa thing now a real hustle, and I not only believe it happen because the amount of people where come up with 350 and not get more people not get than we get.
Yeah.
But then you also have to look at it as that then people country, you know, brother. Then this, but unlike we open packing on, porous borders, anybody in out. But then choose who they let in and not let in. But I hear brother catch 350 and not using money for come up with these days.
Yeah. I was just concerned because I say you get all these requirements and then they drill you over the requirements when they ask you to bring in literally. It's like, sure, where you have letter, where you let up on certain things like that, you know. They look through something like those, so you know that you have to go into a whole lanyard and things to get these things prepared for this day, and when this day comes, we'll ask you 1 or 2 questions, not pertaining to the requirements that they have asked of you, and then you have to know, So, which I agree that in the country and stuff, but at least there could be a reason why, they accepted, 2 hours outside and they're not get accepted. Because that's the reason why you have been prepared yourself for like your school or go work or do research. I know when you're wrong, I have to follow when you're wrong because about XYZ. So next time you know how to do the corrections and stuff like that. But you're not saying at all and you're not accepted and stuff like that. It's kind of frustrated and cheap if they are cheap for them thing. And I really have money I have to get right now. We're trying to save up their money. 4 6 months to take before we put their money together. Much for all from the man and anything there. And people who speak like that, like kind of frustrated. But like what you said up in their country and stuff like that, you can't frustrate about it, right? But when you do due diligence or you want to put answer for getting why you're not granted or stuff like that, they're still not granted and just throw you aside like that tells me.
I hear you. I hear brother and you're concerned valid. Also look for what happens geopolitically as well. Because you know the nigga election in a couple months. I don't hear already if Trump don't make you know enough people want to get deported. So now like then they try to open up their border for more people coming in right now. And I know some people legitimately just want to go for on vacation. But for a number of people, life's so rough.
When I left the country, Belize, I find about the travel nowhere in my life. I was 49 tomorrow, yeah, you know, so I was
You are 49 tomorrow?
Yeah.
What their first day, so I go hello for your birthday tomorrow. What their first day?
I run a drummer.
All right.
Drummer. I wasn't doing that, but I was good. I'm going to go to
and tell me what I was, remind me that you that I run the drummer. Respect. Well, I last ever party here, so enjoy it up here.
I will do my best.
Thanks for the call, brother.
Yeah, you take care of what you do, man.
One love. Thanks, guidance. See, I love by for we people just south of the earth. Everyday people, that 350 hard, the man say take about 6 months as a family man for about 350 for apply for a US visa. They ask you for bringing one whole bag of paperwork, you get there and then you ask you for the paperwork, ask you 2 questions and tell you no, you can't get a visa. So I have a number of people just enter undocumented because a lot of people they left because life too hard. Again, go back to the statistics where the administration put out about unemployment decrease. That's not the reality of people on the ground, but our last break, so break time.
It's an
Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. The time for shut up the shop, cause 9 wrong here. Definitely want to say thanks to all the callers. I appreciate it. I will come back at tomorrow if the Creator give me health and strength for there tomorrow. So thanks for everybody. We listen, we tune in, we share the link, we put the comment, we live stream. Well, look for it later. Thank you. We couldn't do this without you. I definitely want to thank the people behind the scenes. So we have 2 security guards. We had Solomon Harvester, first time he here at the blasting. He left at 7, and then we have Shane Flowers now at the security booth for Zinc. Big thanks to the security guards. We have our sister Alexi Belisle as the Master Chief Operator at the police. So make sure we can see everything on the screen. And then as we technical persons, because Brother Cliff Depan, well-deserved holiday, we have Harlan Wagner, one of the senior technical people, the XTV. Definitely want to thank Larry G down at Creme Radio as the personality on air. This show I want to repeat at the 5:30? 3:30? 3:30, Alexi? At 3:30 today, this WB program will be rebroadcasted on XTV. I want to make sure I have the best day I can have. The best day. Take some deep breaths, choosing the battles, everything that deserves our response, whatever I want to give energy to, I want to give life to. Just stay present in the moment. There's a lot to be thankful for. No say that karma real. So make an effort to live right. I know I sow, I go on a reap on a sow. Until tomorrow morning, on with the people and save the people.
Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. Come to your bed. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show of people. Belize our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah.